My brothers and sisters, stop. Just stop for one moment and breathe. Really breathe. Close your eyes and feel this truth sinking into your heart. You are not alone. The pain you carry, the fear that haunts you, the stress that's eating away at your soul, it is not bigger than the one who created you. Let me say this loud and clear. Allah is not unaware of your pain. He is not distant. He is not ignoring you. He sees everything, every tear, every restless night, every silent cry in sujood, when no one else is watching. Allah, the most merciful, is already writing a better story for you. You just have to believe. We live in a time where worry has become a companion. Anxiety walks with us like a shadow. You're worried about your job, your marriage, your future, your children, your reputation, your sins, your past, your worth. Enough. Why are you acting like you don't have a Lord who is in full control of the heavens and the earth? Why are you carrying a weight that your shoulders were never meant to bear? Didn't Allah say, indeed, with hardship comes ease? Didn't He promise, call upon me, I will respond to you? You see, you've been trying to solve everything with your own strength, your own mind, your own logic. But let me ask you, when was the last time you fully surrendered? When was the last time you placed your head in sujood and just said, Ya Allah, I can't do this anymore? You take over. That's not giving up. That's the beginning of real power. Worry is an illusion of control. But tawakkul, trusting in Allah, is surrendering to a greater reality. It's not weakness. It's not passiveness. It's the most active form of faith. It's standing in the fire and saying, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Allah is enough for me, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Your job is not to fix everything. Your job is not to know how it will all play out. Your job is to believe, to take the next step, and trust that Allah will move the ground beneath your feet. He brought you this far, didn't He? Then why do you think He'll leave you now? Listen, sometimes Allah delays because He wants you to grow. Sometimes He hides the wisdom because He wants you to increase in your dua. Sometimes He lets you break so He can rebuild you into something stronger, purer, closer to Him. What you call a problem may actually be a pathway to your greatest transformation. So stop looking at your trials like they're punishments. They're invitations. Invitations to deepen your faith, to discover your resilience, to get closer to the one who is always waiting for you to return to Him. Right now, in this very moment, decide, I will not let worry dominate my life. I will not live in fear of what might go wrong when I have a Lord who makes everything go right, even if it looks different from what I imagined. Right now, say it with conviction. I trust you, Allah. I know you will fix everything. I believe you have a plan. I will walk forward in faith, not fear. So, here's what I want you to do. Take one step today. Make that sincere dua. Pray with your heart wide open. Smile again. Sleep in peace. Let go of what you were never meant to control and walk boldly into your future, knowing that Allah is already there waiting to lift you. Stop worrying. Start trusting. And never forget the one who created the stars and hung them in the sky. He's the same one who's taking care of you. You wake up in the morning and almost immediately the weight hits your chest, the job you might lose, the bills piling up, the relationship that's falling apart, the guilt over past mistakes, the fear of what tomorrow may bring. It's like a storm that brews before your eyes even fully open. Your heart races, your mind spirals, and you start to believe that the worry is too big, too heavy, too overwhelming. But let me tell you something that will shake you awake. Your worry is not bigger than your Lord. Not even close. You are not created to live in fear. You are not created to be consumed by anxiety. You were created by the one who owns the skies and the earth, who hears your whisper before you speak it, who sees your tears before they fall, and who knows your heart better than you do. The problem isn't that your burden is too big. The problem is that you've forgotten how big your Lord truly is. When you place your worry under a microscope, yes, it looks massive. When you rehearse your fears over and over in your mind, they gain power. But when you lift your gaze, when you raise your hands in dua, when you open the Qur'an and reconnect with Allah, you start to see things in perspective. That diagnosis, that heartbreak, that rejection, that delay, none of it is beyond Allah's reach. Don't forget the one who split the sea for Musa, AS, when escape seemed impossible. Don't forget the one who saved Yunus, AS, from the belly of a whale in the darkest depths of the ocean. Don't forget the one who brought fire to coolness for Ibrahim, AS, when he was thrown into the flames. If Allah can make miracles out of the impossible, what makes you think He can't handle your situation? The problem isn't your lack of intelligence or strength. The problem is that your fear has outgrown your remembrance. Fear and worry grow in silence, in isolation, in the darkness of forgetting Allah. But faith grows in remembrance. It grows in trust. It grows when you say, Ya Allah, I don't know what's going to happen, but I trust you more than I trust my own plans. That's when you start walking lighter. That's when the chaos loses its grip on your heart. Worry feeds on your imagination. It takes your mind hostage and paints worst-case scenarios over and over until you believe them. But Allah feeds your soul. He reminds you that He is closer to you than your jugular vein, that He is the turner of hearts, that He is the one who gives peace, not in the absence of problems, but in the middle of them. Imagine a child who gets scared at night. The moment their parent holds their hand, the fear disappears. Not because the darkness changed, but because they trust who's with them. You are that child, and your Lord is always with you. But you've got to let Him in. You've got to stop believing that you're alone in this. You've got to stop acting like your future depends on your own limited resources. You have a Lord who says, be, and it is. If He knows the number of leaves that fall from every tree, do you really think He's unaware of what's keeping you up at night? If He provides for the birds in the sky and the fish in the sea, do you really think He won't provide for you? If He hears the dua of the oppressed, do you think your silent cries are ignored? You matter. Your pain matters. Your story matters to Him more than you'll ever understand. We live in a world that constantly tells us to stay in control. Control your future, control your finances, control your emotions, control every single detail of your life. From childhood, we're trained to hustle, to plan, to push forward no matter what. And while striving is important, there comes a point where we hit a wall. Life throws something at us that we can't fix, can't predict, can't handle. And that's when most people feel weak, powerless, defeated. But here's the truth that flips the entire script. Surrender is not weakness. It's the ultimate strength. You see, when you try to carry everything on your shoulders, when you try to be the master of your fate and the controller of all outcomes, you're actually stepping into a role that doesn't belong to you. That role belongs to Allah. He is Al-Qadir, the all-powerful. He is Al-Hakim, the all-wise. And when you finally drop to your knees and admit, I can't do this anymore, that's not a breakdown, that's a breakthrough. That's the moment your heart opens up to divine help. Surrendering to Allah doesn't mean you stop trying. It means you stop relying on only yourself. It means you take every step you can, but with the awareness that results are not in your hands. You submit your effort, your pain, your hopes, your fears to the one who sees the full picture. And in that moment of surrender, you find the deepest form of peace, a peace that no success or material thing can give you. Think about sujood, the ultimate act of surrender. You place the most honorable part of your body, your forehead, on the ground. You lower yourself physically and spiritually and say, Ya Allah, you are above all, and I am nothing without you. That is the most powerful position a human being can be in. That's not giving up. That's aligning with your true purpose. That's reconnecting with your source of strength. And yet, the ego resists it. The ego wants to stay in charge. The ego fears letting go. But the irony is, the more you hold on, the more you suffer. The more you try to force life in your own design, the more it slips through your fingers. But the moment you let go, the moment you say, my Lord is with me, He will guide me through this, things begin to shift. Not because the problem disappears, but because your inner world transforms. The prophets of Allah were the strongest of people, not because they controlled everything, but because they surrendered fully. Prophet Musa, A.S., stood before the Red Sea with an army behind him. By all human logic, it was over. But he said, indeed, my Lord is with me. He will guide me. That's not weakness, that's power. That's what happens when surrender becomes your strategy. You don't have to understand every test. You don't have to predict every outcome. You don't have to control how and when your dua will be answered. You just have to trust that the one you surrender to never wastes a single tear, never overlooks a single plea. He is not testing you to break you. He's testing you to rebuild you through faith. The moment you let go of your obsession with control is the moment you allow Allah to take over with His mercy. The moment you stop trying to figure it all out is the moment you make space for His plan, which is always better than yours. This is where true power begins. Not in the resistance, but in the submission. Not in the fight for control, but in the surrender to the one who already controls everything. When you're in the middle of a trial, it's easy to feel like it's a punishment. You start questioning yourself, what did I do wrong? Why is this happening to me? Has Allah turned away from me? But the truth is far more beautiful, far more powerful, and far more loving than you can imagine. Your trial is not a punishment. It's an invitation from your Creator to rise, to grow, to evolve into someone stronger, wiser, more connected to Him than ever before. Trials are not signs that Allah has abandoned you. They are signs that He is drawing you closer. They are a divine wake-up call, a sacred opportunity to realign your heart with your true purpose. Think about the most meaningful transformations in your life. Did they come during times of ease, or did they come when you were pushed, stretched, broken, and forced to look deep within yourself? Real change rarely happens in comfort. Growth doesn't take root in the soil of ease. It's in the storm that your roots dig deep. It's in the pressure that your faith becomes real. It's in the moments of heartbreak that you discover how much you truly need your Lord. These are not moments to curse or avoid. They are moments to embrace, because they are the forge in which your soul is purified. Look at the lives of the prophets. Every single one of them was tested, not because they were far from Allah, but because they were close to Him. Their trials weren't signs of distance, but of divine selection. Ibrahim, As was thrown into fire. Yusuf, As was betrayed by his own brothers and thrown into a well. Musa, As was abandoned as a baby and later chased by an army. Maryam, As faced shame and slander alone while giving birth. And the greatest of them all, Prophet Muhammad was an orphan, ridiculed, abused, and driven out of his home. If trials were a punishment, why would the most beloved servants of Allah face the hardest ones? Because the trial is not about suffering. It's about sculpting. Just like a blacksmith uses fire to shape metal, Allah uses trials to shape you into someone greater than you were before. Every heartbreak, every delay, every moment of confusion, He uses it all. He wastes nothing. And while you may not see it now, one day you will look back and realize that the very thing that broke you was the same thing that built you. The pain you're feeling right now is not meaningless. It is a divine invitation to rise higher in your faith, to rely more deeply on your Lord, to strip away the illusions of control and remember that you were created not for this world, but for something far greater. Your hardship is calling you, not to despair, but to Sabr, to Tawakkul. It is a whisper from the divine saying, come back to me. When you begin to see your trials not as random misfortunes, but as carefully crafted lessons, everything changes. That broken relationship, that lost job, that betrayal, that illness, it's all part of your curriculum. It's how Allah teaches you the lessons your soul needs in order to fulfill your purpose. And the most amazing part is that no pain is ever permanent and no lesson is ever without reward. With every hardship, there truly is ease, not just after it, but within it. Allah places the cure within the test. He places the light within the darkness. But you have to open your heart to see it. And when you do, you start to realize something powerful. What felt like a punishment was actually a mercy in disguise. What you thought was breaking you was really freeing you from the things that were holding you back. Allah doesn't test you to destroy you. He tests you to awaken the warrior within you. Because deep inside of you is a soul that was born to rise through struggle and shine through surrender. Belief is not passive. It's not just a warm, fuzzy feeling you keep locked in your heart. Real belief, true, unshakable, transformational belief in Allah demands action. It requires you to move, to strive, to take steps, even when you don't see the full path ahead. Faith is not just sitting on the sidelines saying, I trust Allah while doing nothing. It's standing up, walking into the unknown, and saying, Ya Allah, I don't know what's ahead, but I know you're with me. That's the difference between empty hope and real tawakkul. Trust that breathes, walks, and lives. Too many people say they believe in Allah, but live as if they're on their own. They make dua, but never change anything in their lives. They hope for a different future while repeating the same self-destructive patterns. They wait for things to get better while refusing to take even the smallest steps toward healing, growth, or improvement. But this is not how true believers operate. Faith doesn't mean waiting for the perfect moment. It means acting now and trusting that Allah will bless your steps. Think about the story of Maryam and us. When she was in labor, alone under the palm tree, she cried out in pain and despair. And what did Allah command her to do? Shake the trunk of the palm tree. Imagine that exhausted, giving birth in the desert. And Allah tells her to shake a tree, a solid palm tree rooted deep in the ground. Could she really bring it down or make dates fall by her own strength? Of course not. But that wasn't the point. The lesson wasn't in the result, it was in the action. She did what she could, however small, and Allah sent the provision. He made the dates fall. He brought the river to her feet, because even in her weakest state, she took a step, and Allah responded. That's the power of movement in faith. That's the proof that Allah doesn't ask you for perfection. He asks you to try. He wants you to show up, take one sincere step, and He'll open 1,000 doors you didn't even know existed. But if you sit still, if you refuse to act, if you wait for certainty before moving, you may miss the very miracle that was written for you. Faith is not about having it all figured out. It's about walking anyway with your heart anchored in Allah. And look at the Prophet who had the greatest connection with Allah of anyone in history. He didn't just sit in the cave of Hira making dua. He didn't retreat to Medina and wait for victory to fall from the sky. He acted, he led, he negotiated, fought, forgave, migrated, and gave his all in every single moment. Because faith without effort is just a wish. But when you pair faith with action, you unlock a force far beyond human limits. You allow divine help to meet human effort. When you say, I believe in Allah, then live like you mean it. Don't just pray for a job, apply for one. Don't just ask for a better marriage. Work on yourself and your relationship. Don't just hope for peace. Protect your mental and spiritual well-being. Pray like it's all up to Him and work like it's all up to you. That's the balance of the believer. That's the beauty of this deen. It teaches you that reliance on Allah is never an excuse for laziness. It's a call to purposeful movement. Even in the smallest things, Allah sees your effort. He rewards your striving. He blesses your sincerity. But you have to take the first step. You have to make the choice to rise. Even if your legs are trembling, you have to act with conviction, even if the outcome is unclear. Because the moment you act with true faith, you give Allah a reason to send the help you've been asking for.